Hi friends, this is a quick review of these Klein Tools Curve heavy duty wire stripper slash crimpers. So they have the large crimper here for 10 to 20 gauge crimpers. There you go, the good old made in the USA. This thing is still kind of oozing the oil out of the hinge, but the hinge pivot is very smooth, very easy to operate. It's the Milwaukee. There's a Knipex. So it's on par with those. Not quite as broken in as my old Journeyman's, but yeah, very nice right away. I like this curved handle here. They have this on a couple of their wire strippers, things like that, and I think it's very comfortable. I like that it's not spring-loaded. I'd rather just operate by hand. A lot of my spring-loaded tools, I tend to remove the spring, like I did on the Journeyman. But just quick little, well, not a little, big test. Let's start with some raw wire. This is pretty heavy gauge. This was for a hot tub takeout. So I do like that the cutters, the blades, the knives go all the way down to the pivot, so you can bottom it out and it'll cut just fine. That doesn't take a lot of effort. These big guys take a little bit more. You can see I've kind of already done that a little bit, but it won't strip these big ones, but it will cut them. And you can just see the copper rubbing off there, but the blades are just fine. Those knives are holding up very well. There is an intentional gap there on the end. Let me pull this back a little bit. So I'm going to cut off a couple pieces here to twist. That's not going to work, but anyway, the idea with that is that you're able to grab, because if you're grabbing a bundle of wires to twist, kind of like Lyman pliers, it gives you enough grab there. And these have that cross-hatched surface, which I really like. You can see kind of the comparison with the Knipex, which these have little tiny cross-hatched serrations that are harder to see, not as apparent as those. The Milwaukee's are don't have as much bite as these Kleins do. So the Kleins will give you a little more grab than those Milwaukee's. So yeah, I'm glad they've continued to iterate on these multi-purpose wire pliers, because I don't always want just a alignment tool. I like these a lot, but I do enjoy some of the other ones. Just a little comparison, Milwaukee is typically their kind of one-to-one relationship there in terms of comparison. So let's just go ahead and do the same thing with their cutting knives. Those did cut through a little easier, but these are also longer handles, so let's do the one that's probably a little bit more of a even relationship. They're shorter ones. See how those do. Yeah, it's about the same. No. See, these were a little easier to cut with. They do kind of pull it in, but I do think that's already, I could feel resistance where the blades are lining up. So the thing I will say about these kind of anvil kind of blade to blade instead of shears, you have more of the diagonal cutters. These will hold up because they are just a wider bevel, just a steeper bevel, I should say. So these are a little more fine and precise. I feel like these will hold up longer than these Milwaukee's. I've read some reviews of these, and again, I can feel that. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's already rubbing and having some resistance. So yeah, these diagonal plier cutting knives will hold up to more abuse and longer term, they may not be as easy to cut everything with just because it's just a straight edge. Whereas these bypass shears, they are kind of pulling the wire in to that middle. So anyway, for reference, these are not, don't have any problem after cutting those. I'm not feeling any kind of, oh yeah. Well, I guess that's kind of worked itself out. It's not doing it anymore. Interesting. So probably a little bit of edge damage, but these guys have nothing to show for it. The high leverage, those do fine. I did not do these yet, did I? The thing about the Knipex is you do have to open them up. You have to force them against the spring. So, but these also handle this just fine. So anyway, there you go. There's a little comparison. Hope that helps.